Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
We
therapist.
are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course, Bob.
Today we have 3 simple exercises to help improve your balance, especially in the elderly, but this could help anybody. And we're also going to give you a little warning about these lift chairs. Is that what they're called, Brad? I mean, they're chairs that, they're recliners, but they'll lift you all the way up to a stand.
Electric motor, and they power up and they power down, and they can be really wonderful, safe devices. But there's one thing you need to know about it so you don't get weak and actually can cause falls.
Exactly. You got one for your mom, right?
We had one for my mom, and we got one for my dad too. Yeah,
sure.
So there's 2 of them in there now.
All right. Well, let's first do the laundry here, Brad. If you are new to our channel, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free. We upload every day. Also, take a minute out of your day and go to Facebook and like us. It's Bob and Brad. All this week, again, I guess it's every week we're doing this, aren't we?
Wow,
we're giving out positive vibes to those of you who are like us.
Because we're running out of space, and you want to make sure you get enough space in the digits.
What are you talking about?
Well, Bob, you'll learn.
Do you know what he's talking about? All right. So these are the 3 simple exercises that we're going to make it very simple. The first one is just sit the stance. Now these are great because they're working multiple muscles, and these are very important towards balance so that you don't fall forward or fall back. And what you're going to do, and it's just like it sounds. Do you want to do one in there, Brad?
Do we want to do it on the chair or on a firm chair?
Let's do it, that chair. So you're going to start with it. Are you too close, Brad?
Is this okay, or should I?
You're good. We'll just go down.
Okay.
Looks like she just got me in there.
Yeah, that's fine. So we want to start off with probably a chair with arms, because you may be having difficulty with this.
Right. Good armrest, you can push off from firm chair, upright.
You know, day one, if you are a bit weak, maybe just start off by doing 3, you know?
So just push in here and getting up. And make sure you stand all the way up nice and tall. You're gonna, get good posture so we don't do these flexed posture things and form a habit. We want to make sure you're aware of your posture. And then
And what's the cue? You need to have your nose over your toes, right, Brad? Because if you don't bring your head forward, it's really difficult to get up.
So he's talking about this part of it, not when you're all the way up. So here, when you look down, you should be able to see your toes. Makes a big difference. And also make sure you pull your feet under the chair a little bit. So everything kind of works together, makes a big difference. And then when you get up, then you're going to work on that good tall posture so your balance is more stable.
And if you're still having difficulty, you might get to the edge of the chair before you start, rather than going from the back.
We're going to scoot forward. And these are all things for people that had a total knee or total hip. You learn some of this too, not so much a total hip, but a total knee. To do the same thing, pushing off. And then when you sit down, especially if you're unstable, make sure you get a good habit of reaching back, touching that armrest with one hand and the other. Let yourself down with good control.
So you're going to work your way up. You're going to maybe get you to the point where you're doing 5 of those or 10 of those using the arms. And then you want to try to progress to trying it without the arms.
Sure. Yeah.
Or maybe 1 arm.
Right, so from 2 arms to 1 arm, and once you can do that 10 times, and then, if you're a little nervous about going with no arms, but you think you're almost ready, have someone stand by you, to help you out. You can start pushing off your thighs a little bit, there's nothing wrong with that.
So generally, if you have difficulty even starting with this, we can put a pillow in the chair to raise you up a little bit.
You better, but it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
1 inch raising the chair makes a significant difference on how easy it is, or much easier to get up versus without it.
Then the final phase would be maybe arms out or arms across the chest, but either way, but sometimes it's easier with the arms out, isn't it, Brad? Because you get a little counterbalance.
This is probably the next progression. Boom. And sometimes what I'll have is my patient, I'll put a walker in front of them. That way they feel more secure if they need to grab something, just so they know they're going to be secure, and I'll be standing there.
If you want an alternative, now you got to bring the camera over to me.
Oh, there you go. Zoom in on Bob.
You can go onto a bed, because sometimes a bed is a little bit higher. Generally they're a little higher, wouldn't you say?
Right. Nowadays, they got the adjustable beds you could buy, like a hospital bed, but they're made for the everyday person.
So you can go off the corner, you can go off the edge, and you can start working on that, and it's just going to be, again, you won't need the arms because you're up high enough.
Right.
And sometimes you can even get a little bounce off the bed to to get you up a little bit higher, so it's an alternative.
Yeah, if you do have a low bed and it's not adjustable, that would not be an
Yeah, that would
option.
not be an option if you sink into it. All right, the next one is, these muscles, Brad, on the side of the hips
Sure.
are very important for balance. Quite often, we find these are weak in people who are losing their balance.
Sure.
So what you're gonna do is, I'm gonna grab this chair here, Brad, actually.
Sure.
You can do this behind the chair, which you did to sit in the stands. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and keeping an upright posture, you're gonna go out like this. And as you can see, I'm keeping the toe straight forward. I'm not going like this.
Yep, down
I'm
here.
not going like this. I'm going straight out, and I'm also not dipping. I'm not going like this.
Right. So if you've got a line right in front of you there, oh, you use that for balance. Good
Yeah.
idea, Bob. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna use it for a line.
Well, yeah, but yeah, if you have that imaginary line, you know, he's gonna stay
Right.
within that line versus.
Which is hard to do.
Yeah, it makes a
You
big
you really
difference.
wanna do this.
Right.
So you can do 10 times, and I prefer that you kind of do it all on one side first, because that works that out a little bit harder.
I agree.
And then you're gonna go to the other side and do the
Right,
10.
yeah.
So, seems simple, but it'll give you a workout if you are not used to those, but it's
Right.
really good for you.
Mhm.
So the last one, number 3, is gonna be real simple. A lot of balance also comes from your ankle strength.
Sure.
So you wanna make sure that you got good ankles. Now, I'm on the side here just so you can see it. I guess I can go like this. You're gonna hold on to the chair again, and you're just gonna raise up on your toes, and then you're gonna raise up,
Oh, yeah.
getting onto your heels.
This is a real nice one. It works the ankle strength as well as the balance. If it's too easy and you don't think you need to hold on to something, you might go to just one hand on there. Make sure you have something there.
I think you almost always have to hold on with this one. Maybe not. I guess I could-
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to hold.
Yeah, we don't want anybody falling because of the exercise.
Right.
But as you can see, so we go from sit to stands, hip abduction, to the heel raises very fast. You can do this within a couple minutes. You can do it a couple times a day once you work up to it,
You bet.
or even 3 times a day.
Sure.
And that'll help save you from falls and a lot of problems that occur with them. All right, what's the big problem with these chairs, Brad?
The big problem with these chairs is they can help you get weak. So, well, we better explain that. a
Yeah,
little bit.
Brad, why don't you sit down one once? I'm gonna show you the test that I do on people. So when we see people, we're testing their leg strength. So I have them, Brad, can you lift that leg up like this?
Sure.
So he lifts up and I push on it. And, and then I'll push up on this one, yeah. Then I'll push his legs apart, checking that muscle. And then the last one I do is I have him hold it up and I have him push down to the floor. And I've done this so much now, I can tell, a lot of times people have normal strength this way, and they'll go this way, and I'm like, and the first thing I say, you have a lift chair, don't you? Because that muscle, that hip extension gets weak when they don't use it. It's actually, even, people doing stairs, I think is a good idea.
Sure.
I know people take stairs out of their house or go to a house without stairs because they're afraid they won't be able to manage them, but you do get strengthening from stairs,
Right, it can be
and you
good.
get strengthening from getting out of the chair.
Right.
So, if you have a lift chair, if you're getting somebody a lift chair because you're concerned that they're having trouble getting out, I would first start off with, maybe just putting a pillow in their chair and having them still work on it, or another cushion. Otherwise, if they are gonna use a lift chair, have them only take it up as high as they need to get out of the chair.
Right. I could go way up to here, and it's so much easier to get up. But at the same time, you're gonna get weaker, particularly if you have to go to a chair that's not elevated.
Right.
Then you're stuck in it because you're so used to getting up from a high level.
Yeah, we understand there's people that are maybe too far gone and they just can't get out of the chair without it, but, have them start lower, try taking it a step lower each time
Yeah.
and seeing if they can get out of it that way, and then do some repeats
Right.
on that too.
So here, it's like, oh, I can't make it, go up, like we mentioned before, an inch at a
Yeah.
time, and you'll find the one point where it's like, oh, and it's okay, if you have to work a little bit, that's good, because
That's what we want, yeah.
some
If it takes
exercise.
2 or 3 efforts to get out, that's fine.
Right,
And generally what's nice about these is, if you lose your balance, you just go right back into the chair.
right, and
So-
that's safe.
But I know you're trying to be kind to your, that elderly person in your life. but you're really not being kind if they're getting weaker and weaker, and then they're gonna be more at risk for falling.
Right, so you don't wanna pamper them too much, but at the same time, you know, give them some kudos.
Unless it's me.
Right.
You're my children, then you wanna pamper me.
Right,
So,
You're-
Father's Day is coming up here now, so. All right, thanks everybody for watching.